Yeah, when is he coming on? He's talking some on Twitter.
I know. It's like, you think that's going to work? Like, that's so stupid. Like, this is such a bad look.
Yeah.
It's such a bad choice.
There's a little desperation in it.
But it's just stupid. It's like, this is a bad strategy. Like, I probably would have had him on.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, nah, what are you doing?
There is a fun version where you just do it and cook them. You know?
He'll cook himself.
I mean, that
He'll
seems
cook
to be
himself. All you have to
happening.
do is just ask him questions.
Yeah, it's like, why are people leaving?
Well, why do you say this thing all the time where you rattle off all the good things about California? When anybody says something bad about California, it's like, #1 in Fortune 500 companies, #1 in higher education.
Yeah.
It was all that shit before you were there. It was all that forever. It's because the weather's perfect, man. It has nothing to do with
California.
We got to talk about Joe Rogan and the worst, possibly the worst governor in America, Gavin Newsom. Gavin wannabe President Newsom, because we all know he wants to be the president. He wants that so badly. We got to talk about him because he recently had something to say about Joe Rogan that was quite interesting, and he kind of contradicted himself within this little segment where he was talking about Joe Rogan, and I'm gonna let you guys hear it because, of course, you know, goodness gracious. I mean, the guy's talking out of both sides of his neck. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna spoil it, but with that being said, let's just jump straight on into it. Let's dive in.
He wanted, look, he hasn't, for years and years, he's been attacking me, and it's one way, and he won't have me on. He's consistently not having me on. By the way, I'm moving on. I have no interest.
You're done with him?
Joe Rogan's the Facebook of podcasting. He was sitting across one of the brightest minds in podcasting right now. The guy was in the mic, and there are a lot of people at the mic doing extraordinary things in podcasting.
I mean, Joe Rogan's got a pretty big audience still, though.
You know what? But with all due respect, if he has a big audience but he doesn't have big enough confidence, I didn't go there, to have me on.
Well, you've called him a chicken.
But he's been attacking for... here's the thing. These guys, they all have something in common. It's one way. They attack, they belittle, they demean, they take things out of context. But this is a serious thing.
Yeah.
And so often we just sit back and go, oh, God, I really would love to go on. Oh, if Kamala Harris just went on Joe Rogan, she would have won. It's not. It's so much deeper than that. And the unwillingness for a guy like that to even have the common courtesy to attack someone and not have the decency to say, you know what, why don't you have a chance to come on? Let's have a civil dialogue. I've watched you on podcasts with like Sean Ryan, who's a close buddy of his. He had the courage on me have 4 hours.
Right.
Sean Hannity, folks like that. And so if I can go on Sean Ryan and Sean Hannity, what are you worried about? Joe, you're going to cook me, or I'm going to cook myself.
So you saw him crying and complaining there in that clip, but then also at the very beginning, I've moved on. Then why are you still lingering on the topic if you've moved on? That makes absolutely no sense.
Moving on. I have no interest.
You're done with him?
Joe Rogan's the Facebook on. He's consistently not having me on. By the way, I'm moving on. I have no interest.
You're done with him?
Joe.
But by the way, I'm done. I'm moving on. But you're still going on about him not having you on his podcast. And then you went on to lie and say he's the Facebook of podcasting. And it wasn't to say like, hey, he's like, a pioneer or anything like that. It's like he's trying to call him a dinosaur, basically extinct. When, I don't know how many listeners Joe Rogan has, but his YouTube channel is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. I want to say he's in the tens of millions at this point. Let's see here. I want to pull it up really quickly because I'm honestly curious what his YouTube channel. 20.4 million subscribers. You cannot make this up, bro. Joe Rogan has over 20 million subscribers. 20 million. And Gavin Newsom wants to call him the Facebook. Goodness gracious. If he's Facebook, then what am I? I've only managed to make it to, where am I at? 1.7 million with y'all? If Gavin Newsom is completely, if Joe Rogan is completely irrelevant, what am I? I'm just like non-existent. I never existed. Okay, my goodness, 20 million. But I want to play a couple of clips of what Joe Rogan has had to say about Gavin Newsom because it's absolutely hilarious. Check it out.
Have you been on Newsom's podcast yet?
I heard it's really good. He would probably have me on. I'm not interested. You know,
I'd like to be asked.
It's not like I'm opposed to talking to Democratic politicians. I'll talk to anybody. But that guy, yeah, no, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been on?
Yeah, I wouldn't be interested either. I wouldn't be interested either. Gavin Newsom gives me super villain vibes. You know what I mean? He just screams super villain in the movie. Just to me. But y'all let me know how you feel.
They don't have any faith in Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of funny because he wants to be president so bad.
That's true what it looks
But
like.
you can't ruin a city and then go on to ruin a state and say, guys, that was just practice.
I know.
Once I get it as a president, I'm going to fix it. Fix it all.
I mean, it's so crazy, but he's such a great politician. I mean,
No,
he's
not.
so smooth.
He's
Oh, you
not,
don't think
though.
so?
No, I think he's terrible.
How's
It's
he
just-
remained
it's-
in
'cause
power
he
for
has
so long?
Low competition. There's
oh,
no one who's
there's
good
that.
is competing against him.
I
There's
guess
no
I
sincerity.
should say he's not a good. I should say he's smooth. He comes.
I
across
mean,
pretty
he's a
smooth.
good artist.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it's like what the things that he says when he gets confronted with things. We're the highest this and the highest that. Like everybody's leaving.
Yeah.
You have the highest unemployment.
Yeah.
You have the highest homelessness.
Look what they did with Hollywood. You had-
money's missing. You killed Hollywood.
I
Like
know.
Hollywood doesn't exist anymore. It's literally gone.
That was such
you
an easy one.
mandated vaccines for kids that didn't need them. You did horrible shit.
Hey, I agree. He absolutely has single-handedly destroyed California. Destroyed it. Absolutely destroyed it.
Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a con man. I mean, everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids, when it was totally unnecessary, to being caught out in public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
All of it. It's just nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. You know, and it's nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and you know that's a human being. With Newsom, you got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. He is a stone cold liar. I don't even want to call him a politician. He's just a stone cold liar, just blatantly lying about anything and everything that he possibly can. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys remember, I showed you guys this. Actually, I made a whole video on it because I was absolutely shocked that they ran this. But even CNN called Gavin Newsom out. Yeah, the Communist News Network called Gavin Newsom out on his lies. I was absolutely shocked. Here's the clip. Check it out.
So let's talk about the word Latinx. Just 2 weeks ago, here's what he said about it.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx. I'm
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
We
what
agree?
the, where did that even
No
go?
more
I'm
Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about?
But there was a person who used Latinx. It was actually a really important person. It was him. Right?
Yeah, that's right. And look, these aren't minor shifts. These are progressive issues that Gavin Newsom used to champion until fairly recently. And now he's not just walking away from them. He's sort of acting like they were never legitimate with that clip talking about Latinx in the first place. But let's take Latinx. We did find somebody who used it repeatedly in his office. Let's take a listen to this.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. The Latinx and Black communities. You've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even serious.
Oh, yeah, nobody in my office has used the term Latinx. Like, why would you even lie about something that silly? You know what I mean? Like, at least if you're going to lie, make it a good lie. You know, at least. I'm not saying that you should lie, but at least if you gonna do it, do it with something that matters, bro. You lied about saying Latin X. Really? Keep in mind, this is a guy that wants to be president. And he's lying about saying Latinx. I got another clip from Megyn Kelly. Check it out.
Gavin Newsom, shame on him, because he invited Charlie on his podcast, and Charlie went and sat in the lion's den with a far left guy, was courteous to him. I think he was his inaugural guest. Did him that courtesy, bringing all these eyeballs to his show. And what does Gavin Newsom do? Betrays him. So here's what Gavin said to Charlie when Charlie was sitting on his set about Gavin Newsom's own son, Sot 1.
Last night, trying to put my son to bed. He's like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie gonna be here? What time? And I'm like, dude, you're in school tomorrow. He's 13. He's like, no. This morning, wakes up at 6 something. He's like, I'm coming. I'm like, he literally would not leave the house.
Did you let him take off school?
No, he did. Of course not. He's not here for a good reason. But the point is,
you canceled school for like 2 years. One day.
The point is the point, which is you are making a damn dent.
Thank you. I'm kidding.
So his son was such an ardent fan that he begged Gavin Newsom to let him stay home from school, begged him to tell him exactly what time they had to get up and Charlie was coming, and then was obviously very disappointed that he didn't get to go. And here's Gavin Newsom on CNN Monday with an entirely different description of what went down, Sot 2.
That's your son, obviously a fan of Charlie Kirk. What was the conversation like between you and your son after Charlie Kirk was assassinated?
Well, he called me, I don't know how he got a phone, but he called me from school that day, really alarmed. And all his friends were around the phone that wanted me to somehow express or understand what was going on. He wanted to know if he was dead. He wasn't a fan of him as much as he was familiar with
really?
him. And it was very revelatory for me because he's also out there. My son is 11, 12 years old. He's sitting there talking to me about not just Charlie Kirk, but folks like Andrew Tate. And he's, sort of beyond Joe Rogan, in many ways, sort of Facebook in so many respects of sort of this novelty of the pod, manosphere, et cetera. And it was so interesting to me in that context that he knew so much about Kirk. And that was a true story. I didn't know what he was staying or stand for. He didn't even have a strong position himself.
Oh, okay. So now it's suddenly he wasn't a fan as much as just familiar with Charlie. And that's why he begged his father to let him meet Charlie, to get up early in the day, to skip school just so he could shake Charlie's hand. Just because of his familiarity, not his fandom.
Yeah. That guy, just when you thought you couldn't dislike someone even more, Gavin Newsom just managed to make me want to dislike him even more than I already did. Disrespecting a man who has lost his life. I don't know. That's just, come on, man. Come on. And then to lie about something like that is just also pretty crazy. But I'm sure you guys remember this clip as well with the Palisades fire when he was pretending to be on the phone. You guys remember that? Well, if you don't, here's a refresher. Check it out.
Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Now, remember, he just said, I'm literally talking to the president right now. Those are the words that came out of his mouth. I'm not paraphrasing. I'm not putting words in his mouth. That's exactly what he said. Remember that. I'm literally talking to the president right now. Keep that in mind as you watch this clip.
I heard him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally... I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
why?
Oh, I thought you said you were talking to the president. Now you're not because you don't have a signal. It won't go through. Really? It's like all he knows how to do is lie. That's literally all this man knows how to do. You blatantly lied to this woman's face. Right there. I'm literally talking to the president right now. Okay, well, let me talk to him. Well, see, I'm not talking to him because I don't have a signal. Well, you just said you were talking to him. You can't make this stuff up, bro. You cannot make this stuff up. This is just... Y'all do me one favor. Make sure that come 28, you pull up to wherever you need to pull up to and you participate in that election. And let's make sure that somebody like this, that we like this individual never, ever becomes president. The legal way, the right way, right? The way that we're supposed to do things. I'm not advocating for violence. I don't want anybody to misconstrue or twist my words. Okay? Just want to make that clear. But let's make sure that guy never becomes our president. Please. Please. Don't make me get on my knees now, okay? Don't make me get on my knees, bro. He cannot be president. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. After California, this man's political career should be done, cooked, over with. Now, of course, once he loses the presidential election, he'll probably run for Senate or Congress or something like that in California. I'm sure he will, because he's going to want to try to keep or have some type of power. Okay, he's already been mayor and now obviously governor. So, yeah. What a shame, man. What a shame. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe if you are tired of these liberals and you don't want a man like this to become president. Hit that like button and subscribe. All right, please do. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.